Old and Nikki here with another Halo 4 campaign mission walkthrough, and today I'm going to show you how to get the second of the two weekly challenges for the week of July 29th through August 4th, which is Infinity and Beyond, which requires you to do the Infinity mission on Legendary with Mythic, Tilt, Thunderstorm, and Tough Luck on. And for this mission I had those 4 skulls activated, and I added 3 more, namely Catch, to get the grenade throwing animation going, Grunt Birthday Party to better see the grunts go down with the confetti headshot, and I Would Be Your Daddy just because I like that particular skull. You never know what the trooper's going to say when you got that thing on. Anyway, as we start the mission here, as we do in a number of missions on Halo 4, if we ever get through this cutscene, there we go, we just start running. And we're going to run down this path. And I'm sure everybody that's done Infinity before is painfully familiar with the fact that you've got to run for a ways before anything happens. But just go ahead and run down this path to the waypoint. You'll see 3 Knights, Promethian Knights, but they'll just immediately teleport out. Grab a DMR, ammo up. Go ahead and turn off that waypoint. And follow this path here. And what we're trying to do is just not, bypass most of the crawlers here. There's another nice little skip that would make this even easier, but because we don't have black eye on and we get our shields back, I really didn't feel the need to do it. But come around here and notice that I just have to fire at those 2 crawlers to get them out of the way, and then we duck into this spot right here. And now we're going to do the skip all of Rally Point Alpha skip. And what we're doing is we're jumping up that log. Okay, that last jump is a crouch jump and hold the crouch. Alright, jump over here, over this rock, go up to the last little bright spot, aim just left of the gap there with the light coming through. Jump again, aiming a little right, bunny jump through, and you should have it. This might take a little practice, but because it is the beginning of the mission, don't get frustrated. You can come back through and practice it. What it does is it saves you about 10-12 minutes and a lot of firefighting. Anyway, we sprint jumped across there, jumped down to this rock, then up on this log by the flower and on down. And other than those 3 crawlers back there in the Watcher, which we just left in the dust, there's not going to be anything else to fight for the rest of Rally Point Alpha. And by the way, before I jumped down that hill, I ran over right by that dead Marine because he had a pistol lying on the ground, and so I was able to ammo back up the pistol. You don't have to select that ID tag, but I did anyway. Run a little bit right of this dead Marine here, and you'll pick up a couple of frag grenades. If you miss that, don't worry about it. There's a crate up there at the end of Rally Point Alpha that's got frag grenades in it. Okay, and we're just running along here. We skipped having to fight a couple of 3 Knights, a Watcher or 2, and a whole bunch of crawlers by doing that little jump through the rock skip. And that's, I like to call it a walk in the park, but that's basically the Rally Point Alpha skip for Infinity. Alright, select that ID tag there because you can't continue the mission without it being selected. And that's the end of Rally Point Alpha, and that took about 3 minutes with no shots fired. Well, actually I fired at the crawlers, but other than that there were no shots fired. Okay, now to Rally Point Bravo. Things get a lot tougher. As the door opens, you'll see a crawler across the way on a little hill. Go ahead and take him out with a pistol. Like so. There'll be another crawler in that tree, that bent tree. Take him out, run over to the bent tree. We're going to use that as cover. When we take these 2 crawlers out here, the Promethian Knight will be throwing grenades into the tree instead of into you. And now it gets interesting. We have to be concerned about these Knights, obviously, because they're throwing grenades at us and all kinds of stuff going on. But we can't make a run at them until we get the crawlers out of the way, because the crawlers could jump into you, or if they start firing and you're in sprint, It'll knock you out of sprint, and all kinds of bad things will happen. What I'm going to do here is, now that I got the crawlers, I'm going to go in for a circle melee. Now watch what happens here. As he goes in a great throwing animation, I circle around behind him and backsmack him and get the heck out of dodge because there's another one. To be quite honest, with Mythic and Tilt on, that's the only real way you can kill a knight, is either with an assassination invoking the animation or a melee backsmack. And the only way to be able to do that is to be able to do that circle melee technique. Or sneak up behind them, one or the other. Okay, here I am coming in. Alright, rush. And boom, turn around. And what I found in the past, when I was not successful at those, was that I wasn't quite going far enough behind them. So you almost like want to go an extra beat too far, at least in your mind, and then do the melee. Alright, right now I'm just taking out this Watcher. All the crawlers are out of the way. Yeah, I could use the light rifle, but pistol's just as fine. I'm not doing a speed run here, so I'm in no real rush. Okay. Grab a light rifle, swapping out the pistol. Let's go look for that other light rifle that was dropped by the meleeed elite, and I wanted to make sure. Yep, I also got an auto sentry. If you hadn't picked it up already, then root around for it, because that's going to be necessary for the rest of the mission, or at least until we get through Rally Point Bravo. Okay, come over this rock, do a crouch jump, aim a little bit up to the right, do another crouch jump, another jump, and you're up and out of there, and you just saved yourself a fight with several crawlers and a knight by just doing that little rock jump up. Alright, now we're in the pre-holdout area. Okay, and first thing we want to do is take this Watcher out, fire up the auto sentry. And sometimes I get him in 3 shots, and sometimes it takes a little bit more. Three headshots will take an take a Watcher out, even with Mythic and Tilt on. But getting the headshot on that little head of his is quite problematic. Okay, now we got crawlers to take out. Now, by the way, I cannot hear the audio while I'm doing the voiceover here, so if Cortana's talking or the Chief's talking, then I'm just guessing. Okay. We got the crawlers out of the way, and at least I think I got them all out of the way. And now we got a knight coming down. And I'm going to throw up an auto sentry. I got a couple Marine buddies left, which a little bit surprised me. Alright. And what I'm doing here is I'm trying to reposition him a little bit so that I could get a good run at him. You know, if he's next to a tree trunk or next to a rock, especially on the left side, because that's the side I prefer to come in from. Some people prefer the right side. Some people are ambidextrous and do either one. Me, I prefer the left side. But I was just trying to position him so that I can make that run and that circle on him from the left. Alright, there actually was a binary crawler up in that, stuck up in the middle of that tree. Okay. I believe that's all the crawlers, and now we're going to go ahead and initiate a checkpoint and sacrifice my remaining 2 Marine buddies. Because all hell's going to break loose when that checkpoint, there it goes, checkpoint flares, and that's going to spawn a knight, 2 Watchers, some crawlers, and a couple of turrets. And I'm going to use a railgun DMR combo. Railgun shot, 3 DMR shots to take out the turrets. That's a nice easy way to get them from distance. Nice of the game to put a railgun right there. Okay, they're out of the way, and next up are the 2 Watchers. And I'm just going up here and loading up on DMR ammo. And where are they? Okay, here comes one to the middle. And actually, to be quite honest, I almost prefer this mission on Lazo with blind on, because I tend to do better firing with blind skull on than with using these sights. For some reason, the sights on the light rifle would just drive me nuts. Okay, we've taken care of the 2 watchers. And I'm going to come up here and see if... Okay, I'm going to throw an auto sentry there. And now I'm going to make a run for the door. And that's going to spawn a knight that I want to assassinate or melee. Okay, so I'm running up this right side. I wanted to make sure the other knight was all the way over on the other side there, or in the middle. Okay, assassinate this knight, and look what happens. The other knight respawns or teleports up here, and I'm going to take him out with the circle melee. You know, run by him, turn around, boom. And now all I've got are 4 crawlers that I can take out at leisure.
The Marines got trapped trying to get through these doors. Look for an interface.
Okay, one more. There we go. Okay, I don't know if you noticed that before, but after I took care of the 2 knights up there on top, I made sure that I was full of light rifle ammo, because as soon as this waypoint shows up here, the 2 light rifles up here despawn. Okay, and we put Cortana in the system, and now we're running down here. We're in the holdout. Okay, come right down here, that little fork in the path. Assassinate with animation. It's very important you do that. Run over here and back smack this knight, like so. Run up here. There's 3 crawlers. Take one out, and a 3rd knight will appear. Okay, and get on this log and run up and smack that guy. It's important that you're behind him a little bit, so you have to run up to get him. If you're right behind him and back smack him, he will not go down. He will not die. I found that out the hard way on numerous attempts. Okay, and if he doesn't die on the first smack, he spawns a watcher and things get ugly. Okay, now we got to take out, I believe, about 8 crawlers here. And believe it or not, one of my Marine buddies is still alive, and their attention is directed towards my Marine buddy, and that is actually making my job easier. Now when I kill 6, then I start looking around to see how many I got left, because I want to be down to 3. And I'm hoping that my Marine buddy doesn't kill one, because then I'm screwed. Alright, I'm down to 3, and I'm positioning myself for the next night spawn. Okay, because he will spawn when there's 2 crawlers left. 2 or less. Alright, there, I got the crawler. Watch what happens here. Alright, well I might as well take him out too. Ooh, there were 4 left. I thought there were 3. Okay, there he spawned right in front of me, and I was able to back smack him. And positioning is very important there. Okay, now 3 more crawlers are going to run up here, and what I want to do is I want to take out anywhere between 1 and 3 crawlers, because notice I was aiming back down towards the sandbags there. A watcher will spawn to come up and spawn a bunch more crawlers, and then another knight spawns, and all kinds of crazy things happen. Alright, so it looks like I could take 1 more out here. Okay. Yep, there comes the watcher. Take him out with a headshot, and I think that was 4 rounds there that got him. And so that eliminates the need to do a major complicated battle. Okay, I think if we take out 1 more crawler here, and notice how I'm positioning myself, another knight spawns there, and then we run over to this rock up to the edge, and the last knight will spawn. Boom.
How close are we?
And now all I have to do is take out this crawler, turn around, and as soon as the waypoint for the door opens up behind me, 3 more crawlers will spawn down there by the sandbags and run right up this path. One of them was not cooperating. He'll be coming up the left path, like so, and I take him out. And now all I want to do is I want to ammo up. There was a DMR right there, light rifle right there. Make sure I'm full of ammo in both of my weapons, and grab Cortana, and the door opens, and we're on to the landing zone. That was holdout that we just did, and we call that holdout because when we initially put Cortana in the system, she said hold out. until I figure this out or whatever. And so that was holdout. Now we're coming up to the landing zone. And I'm going to take out this grunt that was kind of walking across from left to right. And then, oh good, he did not put up an auto sentry. And now I want to take out several of the grunts, and I think there's one shielded jackal that I want to deal with. There he is. Okay, they present the most danger early on because the shielded jackal will, and that needler grunt. The shielded jackal will try to EMP you, and the needler grunt will sneak up on you, and you get you get a super combine on your butt faster than you can say Charlie, which is where we want to get. We want to get at rally point Charlie. Okay, if there's a watcher there, sometimes he doesn't make an appearance. You want to take him out as soon as possible using the light rifle. And then, of course, he's hiding. Doggone it. So I'm going to step out of the cave a little bit. I don't think that's too much of an issue. With the grunts and the jackal that I got early on, they're the ones that will come up to the cave mouth. The rest of them will hang back, which will allow me to step out of the cave a little bit and take the watcher. There he goes. Okay, now we want to focus on the remaining grunts and jackals, if there's any out there. Because we have to get down to, I believe, 1 or 2 of the coveys left before the next wave is initiated. And that's when a phantom comes in and drops off 3 grunts and 3 more jackals, I believe. The grunts will be on the left side, the jackals will be on the right. And I just kind of ran back there because I didn't want the main gun firing at me. Okay, I'm just waiting for the grunts to drop down. They're going to drop down right over those jagged rocks. There they go. 1, 2, 3. Okay, and where are the... Oops, I'm fired at. I think I got one of the jackals. Doesn't make any sense to fire at the knights. Okay, there's another jackal. And there's a third one down. Oh, here we go. There's the third jackal. I think there's still a grunt out there somewhere, but at some point, Cortana's going to yell out knights, and that means that 2 Promethian Knight battle wagons with scatter shots just spawned, and they'll all hang back there, I believe, until I get down to the last covey, or take out all the coveys. So I'm just being a little careful here. I'm just kind of trying to find a target, a covey target. I gotta step out a little bit because at some point at least one of the knights, sometimes 2, will teleport up. Don't want that to happen when I'm not looking. I'm gonna run down here and see if I can take out the grunt from or whatever coveys are left from down here. I sure don't see anything. Okay, one of the knights is making a move on me. I just saw his red dot show up on the motion sensor. He was moving pretty quick. That's why I knew it was pretty sure it was a knight. Yep, there he is. He's going to teleport right in front of the cave mouth. And what we're going to do here is we're going to take him out with a circle melee. And rush and turn and boom, he's gone. And back into the cave mouth. It gets really tough when there's 2 together, and that's when I start running down that right side and maybe throwing up an auto sentry to try to separate them. But in this particular run, I didn't have much of a problem. In fact, sucker went back again. I was expecting him to stay up at the mouth. I saw my final grunt out there, so I decided to take him out while I'm waiting for the knight to make another appearance up here by the cave mouth. Okay, so you get the gist of what I'm doing here. Okay, here comes another melee. Sometimes he'll back off and fire, but I just step back and wait for him to go into animation again. Alright. Now I believe we're down to 2 knights, and sometimes you can rush the Pelican with 2 knights left if you've taken out both battle wagons, but apparently I didn't, so I've got to deal with the 3rd knight here, and he'll come back. Here he comes. And I'll go ahead and melee him as well. As soon as he's going to turn around on me. There he goes. Fires and an animation with a grenade thrown, and I run by him, turn around, and back smack. And that actually was fairly simple to do. I mean, I've done this a number of times before because I've done Mythic S. Lazo runs, and that technique comes in very handy here and on midnight, by the way. Alright, we're waiting for the Pelican to land and open the ramp, and when it does, so I'm jumping here to see that ramp come down. Okay, ramp is down. I'm going to go ahead and throw up an auto sentry to distract the knight that's left, and I'm going to run up here on the left side and run underneath the ramp, and that should trigger the end of Rally Point Bravo. I think one time it didn't, and I had to go back and do it again, but now we're down to Rally Point Charlie, and as we come into view here, instead of running for the tank like most people do, I'm going to perform a little bit of a skip to bypass this initial battle. So I run up here to this rock, jump up on the rock, jump up on this beam or whatever it is here at the bend, get up on the edge, aim about halfway down the next beam, and do a sprint jump, and hopefully I land on that pointy edge and get through to this point, and run on down into here, and down into here. Alright, just follow this path, and we have basically skipped not only the initial battle, but most of the battle up the pathway with the tank. Now what I'm doing is I'm running towards a Wraith that's parked up here a ways. And while I'm running, I want to mention that this particular challenge is worth 7,500 XPs, and you know, just for the sake of the XP, I don't know about doing it. I mean, I took my time here. It took me about 45 minutes, and I'm doing most of the latest skips. But on the plus side, if you do this challenge first and are successful, you will get the other challenge, which is Oh It's On, which has the same skull set, but you can do any mission on heroic or higher for 3750, which so you total 11,250. And by the way, just follow this path with the Wraith. There will be a Phantom up there, so be careful of that. When he starts firing, go ahead and boost. But you know, you get out of the way pretty quick. That's not that big a deal. So if you're in it for the XP, I'd recommend doing this challenge first and trying to get them all both at the same time. Now when we come up here, we're going to be faced with some foot soldiers and a Wraith and a couple of ghosts. And as soon as you fire at the Wraith, he immediately turns and fires back at you. And notice how I'm using this rock and outcropping, whatever the heck it is, as cover. The nice thing about the Wraith here is that I can strafe back and forth and get out of the way of the fire. Okay, it takes several hits to take out the Wraith. We don't want to get hit, obviously, but I think I've just about got him. I think maybe that's the one that gets him. Yep, that's the one that gets him. Alright, now the next guy up is the Ghost. I was really not too worried about the plasma fire from the Ghost because of the Wraith's armor. With Mythic, Tilt, and Thunderstorm on, you basically get vehicles get extra shielding as well as individuals. With Mythic on, you get double health as well as the enemies or the Coveys and the Promethians. I believe with tilt on you get the extra shielding with the Wraith and whatever other vehicle you may be using. Alright, so apparently I was expecting foot soldiers, but they're all dead, so this was actually a pretty easy little firefight, a little skirmish here. Okay, now we're heading in for the landing bay of the Infinity. Alright, and or whatever it is up here. But we're heading back to the inside of the Infinity. And as soon as we get up here, we're going to be faced with another firefight with a couple of elites, some fuel rod cannon grunts, and 2 hunters. And if you take on the hunters and hit them a couple of times, ooh, fuel rod grunt, and he nailed me a little bit. He nailed me again, that sucker. What'll happen with the hunters? And I'm using that as a little platform as cover, by the way. What'll happen with the hunters if you nail them one time or even land a blast close to them, that will back them up. And once they start backing up, you can focus on the other coveys. And other than the fuel rod grunts, which you want to take out right away, your focus after driving the hunters back is to get the elites. And they can be a real pain because they do dodge your fire an awful lot, so you almost have to sense which way they're going to dodge and fire in that direction. In other words, if they dodge left, fire to their left. If they dodge right, fire to their right. Oops, hunter's coming back. Let's drive him back a little bit. Okay. And that's easier said than done. Now notice his shield's flared a little bit. The elite that I'm working on. Oh, there's another fuel rod grunt back there somewhere. I'm not sure whether I got him yet or not. No, I think I did. That's a plasma grunt. One that just kind of flew off to the right. Anyway, just use this little platform where that mongoose was for cover. And strafe back and forth. Take your time. No sense in taking risks at this point in the mission. Alright, I don't know why, but one of those hunters just went down. And I was aiming at the other one. And I think that takes care of the second hunter. Okay, now I think I got, yeah, I got one elite. And maybe a couple of more grunts out there. When you think you got them all, it seems that 2 more grunts spawn. Alright, nice of my Marine buddy to finally jump on the machine gun, or the plasma turret for the Wraith. Now that the battle's almost over. Whoa! Fuel rod grunt! He was hanging back. I thought I got them all. Oh, he's still kicking him up there. Okay, I got him. As soon as you see Del Rio there show up on the screen in the upper left corner and you see the checkpoint flare, you know you got them all. Alright, now we're getting ready for the final Mantis action here. And I'm actually... There's a couple of ways to deal with the Mantis inside the Infinity. You can fight your way all the way through all the Promethians and Coveys. Or, as I am going to do, you can skip most of that fight. And by running up along the rafters, if you will. So what I'm going to do here is go ahead and activate the Mantis. And then as soon as I do that, I'm going to run down here and grab rockets. And then jump back up on the platform. And run back as the Mantis is coming up. And go ahead and flip back over to the DMR. Because we will be using it first, and then the rocket launcher. Alright, now we got to blast open the door, and it takes a full load of rockets and firing the machine gun. And... Yep. And another full load of rockets. There we go. That blasts the door up. Now what we want to do here is take care of the Coveys that are immediately in front of us down this particular corridor. Alright, I think somewhere down there, yeah, he just died. There was a fuel rod grunt. See the fuel rod going up in the air as he died. Alright, there's going to be a couple of Promethian Knights we have to take care of. And you can use a combination of rockets and guns on them. The rockets will weaken their shields and the guns will take them out. Boy, my shields went down. Notice I'm backing up here to let my shields regenerate, and those are the Manus. Way down there at the end is a turret. I believe I took it out. Alright, at this point I'm going to be starting my little skip. Alright, now that I got the immediate enemies out of the way, I'm going to run up here, and there'll be two fuel rod grunts on this little catwalk here, and I want to take them out with a DMR. Alright, I'll switch over to rockets. We're going to take the turret out with the rockets. Alright. We got another turret over another catwalk down there a ways. We want to take that out with the rockets. And then take out the two fuel rod grunts down there. And we basically cleared our way to do the skip. We're going to bypass all the Coveys and Promethians to get to the elevator, and we have to deal with about a half a dozen grunts, but I'll show you how I did that when we get there. Alright, take your time. Just don't over jump that. If you jump down below, you're dead. Okay, make sure you jump that little gap. Okay, run along here, run along the inside edges. Alright, again, along the inside edges. And run as close to these railings, these orange railings here as possible. At some point, right about here, there's a big explosion. I'm not really sure what that is, but it drops the shields, and so I'm going to hang here for a couple of seconds until the shields come back. There we go. Rocks out, take out that turret, and now we're faced with just the grunts in the elevator. And as soon as the door opens, jump down and do a little bunny hop and fire your rocket in there. Okay, and that took out a couple of them. And whatever you didn't kill right away, go ahead and melee. And I actually got a little lucky there, because it looked to me like one of the grunts decided he was going suicide, but instead of running at me, the plasma grenades immediately went off, and they were kind of weak. So that's the danger of it. You got to take those grunts out. Now, some people will just run in and start meleeing like crazy, but if somebody behind you fires, that wakes them up, and they go to grenades. So you got to be a little careful with that skip right at the end there. Okay, what I'm doing now is I'm saving my sprint until I get out here, all the way out on the platform, and I'm running over to the left to grab the Manus on the left. There's one on the left and one on the right, but we're going to grab the one on the left and kind of fight our way back over to the right. And the reason that I'm doing it this way is that if and it actually happens in this particular run through, if my Mantis starts smoking and looks like it's going to be ready to be blown up, I'll jump out of it and run to the next Mantis that I have over here on the right. And I definitely want to do everything from the right side here at the end. Alright, the first thing I'm doing is I'm taking out all the initial Coveys that I can before I go after the jamming devices. Oop, what do we got over here? I believe we got a grunt and an elite over here. Okay, and needler grunt over there. And notice that it was dropping. It's definitely dropping the mana shields and my own with that daggone needler. All right. So first I'm going to take out the jammer all the way down, and then notice that I'm backing up a little bit as I do this. I'm going to take out well, I actually got to take that elite out first. There it goes. Take out the jammer in the middle, and then work my way back to the right and take out the jammer on the right. And what that does, when all of them are out, that keys waves of Covenant to come in on Phantoms. And by starting left and going right, I have a short distance to travel to this right gun emplacement, which is what I'm going to use as cover. And I found this is probably the best place to be for the final battle. When the Phantom comes in, I try to take out his main gun with rockets, and then take out the cubbies that he drops off. Sometimes I'm successful, sometimes I'm not. Notice another Phantom's coming in right away, and I believe there's one coming in from the left, because that's what I'm getting fired on. And again, wow, my shields are just almost toast here. Alright, so it's going to take a little bit for my shields to recover, and take a little bit for the shields for the Manus to recover. So again, I'm using this gun emplacement here as cover. Holy cow! I have no idea what that was. That might have been one of the gun emplacements that I activated firing at somebody. Okay. Looks like my shields are coming back and the shields of the Manus are coming back, but we're not out of the woods yet. Try to take out as many of those guys from distance as you can. Here comes another Phantom. Again, I'm trying to take out the main guns with my rockets and guns. I think I got this one. Yep, there it goes. There goes the main gun, but there's another one on the left, or cubbies on the left firing at me. I want to take out that elite there, turn around. Yep, those elites on the left side just kind of snuck up on me. Alright. The elites that have the thruster packs, or whatever they have there, are not shielded that well, so they can go out pretty readily. Okay, here comes another Phantom. Oh, and a fuel ride grunt behind me. Oh, gun it. That surprised me. I was paying so much attention to the Phantoms, I forgot about the ones that are already on the ground, the cubbies on the ground. Alright, it looks to me like my shields are almost shot. My Manus is smoking, so I'm going to jump out and haul it up to this other Manus. I notice my shields, for some reason my shields come back real quick after I haul it. Maybe it's because I'm just not being fired on. Of course they're gone again. So I want to get back to cover. And this is basically just pay attention to where everybody's at, and just trying to take them out as best you can with rockets and guns. And try not to get too surprised by somebody coming at you from the backside. Like that. Another fuel ride grunt came out of nowhere. Holy moly. This is a particularly tough battle for me today. Sometimes I can come through this last battle bit fairly unscathed, but now my second Manus is smoking. So I'm going to have to stick with this as much as I can. I think I'm down to the last few cubbies though. Yeah, that last scan, or now the guns finally decided to help me out. I think that last scan tells me that we're almost done. And Cortana will tell me, will say like that's how it's done, and that's a pretty good indication that we're down towards the end. Then Del Rio comes on and says, hey, you're going to have to activate the railgun manually because we can't do it from the inside. So once he says that, head over towards the railgun and be very wary of Banshees. We didn't see any while we were fighting it out with the cubbies on the ground and the Phantoms, but notice there's a Banshee over there, and of course, you know, now that I'm ready to activate the big gun here, the Banshee comes in at me, so I decided I'm just going to wait and take him out. Go ahead and over here and activate the Mac gun and jump back into the Manus, because you never know who's coming after you right here at the end. And we should be just about done here. This time there's no more Banshees coming at me, so we're right down to the end of the mission. Again, if you're in it for just the XP, I actually recommend doing this one first, which will get you both of the weekly challenges. I mean, if you want to invest the time. Again, it's going to take me, oh, I guess it took me about 40 minutes or so. to do this. But otherwise, it's also a good walkthrough for doing this mission on Legendary anyway. So there goes the the numbers on the bottom that tell me the mission's done. The challenge will pop. I hope this helps. Old and Nikki signing off. Take care.